Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of BC Buckets. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Today, Colin, we're not comparing two players. We're not looking at anybody else here except for one man, Cam Whitmore of
Yep.
Villanova,
Yep.
6'6" freshman, not even 19 years old yet. Comes out as after averaging 12.5 points, 5 boards, under 1 assist, 1.4 steals, 48% shooting, 34% from 3. We're going to give our full scouting report of Whitmore, what we like, what we don't like, comps, everything like that. So, Colin, what are your feelings on Cam Whitmore as a prospect?
So when the Pistons fell to 5, Cam Whitmore, that name was just flying around. And obviously we scouted the Thompson twins and I was like, they look pretty good. I wouldn't mind getting them. Obviously Cam Whitmore is kind of in that conversation at 5. Watching Cam Whitmore, we better not draft the Thompson twins. Cam Whitmore, to me, I think the fact that he played against better competition and shown so many translatable elite skills, like I could have him like he could be like an all NBA type player. He also really couldn't, which we'll get into more later. But like that's the type of player I think he could be at 5-ish around there for the Pistons or whoever else.
Yeah. The fact that he is one of the youngest players in this draft does not go unnoticed to me.
Younger than the Thompson twins.
Younger than the Thompson twins, younger than almost a year younger than Jarris Walker. He's he's a year and a half younger than the Thompson twins. Really,
Yeah.
a year and a half younger than Brandon Miller. Like younger than Scoot Henderson, who's pretty young. Like that. This is a very young, raw prospect, but in being raw, it's so evident that he has incredible upside.
Yeah.
Like just flat out elite ability in certain areas that we'll get to here. We'll start on the offense side of the ball, right? On offense, I love his ability to drive to the basket. Like the ability to finish through contact, the ability to be athletic as a finisher, the ability like how many guys at 18 years old are dunking the way that he's dunking the ball? It is incredible. He's going to continue to get more athletic, to get stronger, to get more comfortable. At 6'6", like he is just goes right through people. He doesn't worry about there being a 7-footer in front of him. He literally finishes, seeks out contact, finishes through it, gets fouled. That's my main thing is he's going to get downhill, and when he does get downhill, he is just very, very difficult to stop. In the NBA, with the spacing that he's going to have,
Yeah.
if he can, we'll talk about the improvements in a bit, but if he can get that handle down to where he can create a little bit, there nobody's stopping him. Nobody's stopping him.
Yeah, you already kind of mentioned it. The second he gets downhill, and in the NBA with all that space, handoffs. I mean, not only that, it doesn't even just go with him having the ball in his hand, cutting.
Yep.
Him cutting to the basket is just insane. And that's another great thing he has because he doesn't exploit just like a backdoor. He finds any way he can to get to the rim, and he can finish with either hand. I think that's a really big thing, especially for a young player, because if you can finish with either hand, your upside automatically goes way higher, especially when he uses his body like the way he does. Man, at the rim, he's going to be already a good to above average to really good NBA finisher.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, I mentioned his handle. I do think that's an area of improvement.
Yeah.
However, he did show in a few situations he has a nice little 1-2, like cross tween and go get downhill. Like if he moves you with that cross tween or like on a 1-2 action and you don't make him dribble 4 times, it's over. Like you have to wall up, you have to stay in front to a point where he's, putting different combinations together or has to do more than what he's capable of at this point in his career. But the 1-2, I think he's very quick, has a really good first step. All of that is really impressive. And then when you get to the shooting, that's where it's going to be interesting to see. He's shot 34% this year. He has a little bit of a slower release, but he was comfortable shooting in the face of closeouts, comfortable shooting on a catch, jab, like not even in rhythm, just catch, jab, like wait a minute, and then shot it. And you're like, okay, well, damn. And he missed his fair share of them. Like he wasn't perfect, but I think the shooting potential was really surprising to me.
Here's the biggest thing for me and what makes his floor high and then also his ceiling higher for me is his shooting ability off ball, like catch and shoot, he was 40% on catch and shoot threes. He didn't shoot a lot of them, but the shot looks good enough. And if he's able to shoot those threes with his driving ability, you make someone bite, he's gone. Yeah. And that works so well as well when he's cutting, because someone's going to be paying attention to him on the perimeter instead of sagging off, and he can just sneak behind him and get him.
Yeah.
So
the 3-point shot for me, it's smooth enough and it's workable enough to where you give him a full year in the NBA. Like, how many players do we see take significant strides forwards just after a year or two in the NBA? Like, there's no reason. And he hits them off the bounce. Like, that's probably why his percentage is so low, is because he took a lot of those like little step back threes, the little sidestep threes, and in a Villanova offense that wasn't very good this year, like, he was creating a lot of those threes for himself. So he wasn't like a Taylor Hendricks, who was doing a lot of catch and shoot stuff, who also I think shot 41% on catch and shoots. Like, if we're just talking catch and shoot players, Cam Whitmore I think is already there.
Yep.
Like, he's gonna be able to step in and be able to play. All right, offensively, what do you need to see improvement on?
I think it's that in between game, which you already kind of mentioned, and that includes the handle, that includes the pull up. He can kind of get tunnel vision sometime if he doesn't have that direct line to the basket. When you make him dribble more than once, it can become tough. And then obviously he has that. We've seen playmaking flashes, but I feel like when he gets tunnel vision and he drives into traffic and has nowhere to go, he's very telegraphed on his passes and shots.
He doesn't. If he's driving the basketball, he is not looking to pass the basketball.
Exactly. And that's something that needs to change, because he can kind of get out of control if you have two guys just like wall it up in front of you. He's like, all right, I'm going to go up anyways.
Yeah. He's like, we'll figure this out. He is not one that is driving to kick. Let's just say he is driving to score the basketball, which is a good and a bad thing. The dribbling, like we said, that'll take time. The mid-range will take time. I mentioned it as a positive on the threes, but he does take a lot of tough shots. And that is something in the NBA you're going to have to clean up. But he's 18 years old. Like, he was 18 and a half years old playing in the Big East, which was a really good basketball conference, and fighting through injury where he missed, I think, the first 6 games of the season or something like that. Like, he's consistently had to do more than what maybe he was capable of. And he still shot 48% from the field, 34% from 3, and was really, really good in flashes for Villanova, who also had a coaching turnover. Jerry Wright was gone. So a lot of different situations there. I think you get him into a stable spot, and he's going to thrive in those spots. All right. Comparisons, Colin. Who do you have?
I have Ant Edwards as a comparison.
I like that. I don't have that, but I like that.
I've seen Miles Bridges a lot, but I'd like to see him be more than Miles Bridges. But just kind of that slasher that hopefully develops that playmaking part of his game. You give me 3 assists, 4 assists a game, round 3, that ceiling is way higher.
I will say I like Anthony Edwards. I have written down a few names, a couple as floor, and then one as my actual comp. I'll go with the floor comps first, and you tell me if this is right, because you know him better than me. Sadiq Bey.
I hate that comparison.
You hate that? Why do you hate the comparison?
Because Sadiq doesn't have the athleticism that Cam Whitmore has. Like, Sadiq is able to be athletic, but he was a 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
He wouldn't really get to the basket a lot. He's not the just unrelenting force that is Cam Whitmore. But I have seen that comp a lot, and it's frustrating because I haven't seen it.
I came up with it myself. So
I've seen that comp a lot. But that's because I'm a Pistons fan. Everyone's like, don't draft Cam Whitmore because it's going to be Sadiq Bey. And everyone's like, he's not Sadiq Bey.
We haven't talked about his defense, which I just realized as we were doing comps.
Oh, okay. Well, let's quickly do
I don't have a ton of notes on his defense because I think he's a pretty good defender. And it's going to take time to realize if he can do it.
I think a lot of it is age related, like maturity, realizing, timing and stuff, which I think is the easiest thing to fix in the NBA. It's there's no way you can teach athleticism. We talked about this with the Thompson twins. He's able to, when he's on, he can get steals. He can get in passing lanes. That's not going to be the hard part. The hard part's going to be, or the easy part's going to be him, learning not to ball watch, make sure to close out every time. But Villanova wasn't very good, and he was doing a lot. So
yeah. All right. Other comps I have is a more athletic Harrison Barnes. Not all of that one either. 0 for 2.
No, I kind of like that.
Okay, we kind
Because
of
I
like
feel
it.
like a more athletic Harrison Barnes makes Harrison Barnes a lot better.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes would be crazy. And then I have Jaylen Brown
Ooh,
as my true comp, right?
ooh.
Now, Jaylen Brown has a better, obviously, a better in between game right now, right? Like that's not even close. Like the in between game of Jaylen Brown is what makes him kind of elite in a lot of ways. But I think they are similar in how they create shots a little bit. Like Jaylen Brown's not over here doing a bunch of combination moves here. He's getting a little 1-2 driving, looking to dunk. Or he's doing a side step three, or he's taking different step back combinations. Like the um the offensive game for both is kind of similar to me, and I think that I like this Jaylen Brown comp. Now the defensive end, Jaylen Brown is obviously an elite defender. Cam Whitmore will have to prove that to us a little bit more, but I think he has the tools to do it. So I like my Jaylen Brown comparison.
Jaylen Brown is a really good comp, actually. But so you think that's his ceiling? Highest he can go is Jaylen Brown.
No, I think that's higher. I think I think it'd be even better.
Okay, I agree because I don't think I like Jaylen Brown is a really great player, but I think Cam Whitmore can be more than that.
You can, yeah, Cam Whitmore could be an All NBA player.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's the second tier for me. So if we're doing tiers, like it's like first tier is like, all right,
Juiced up Harrison Barnes, Jaylen Brown, and then
it,
All NBA would be your.
So yeah, you have All NBA as like the second tier because like the first tier is like LeBron. Like you're gonna be like
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Second tier. I thought you were mocking me. That's what I thought you were going
No.
with it.
No.
The second tier being All NBA, third tier All Star, and then you go from there. But I think he could very well be making All NBA in his career. I think he could be that good. Like Jaylen Brown I don't think he's made an All NBA, but he's obviously been the second best team on a finals team. I don't know when y'all are watching this, but we'll see if they win tonight. So potentially the second best player on two finals teams. That's pretty freaking good. Pretty freaking good. So, anything else on Cam before we wrap this up?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything that we haven't talked about.
But you're just gonna be waiting for the fifth pick when it's Asar.
Listen,
This is
if the Pistons draft, if the Pistons hire Kevin Ollie, it's a foregone conclusion that we're getting one of the Thompson twins. And Troy Weaver might do some crazy thing and then do trade Jaden Ivey or something for the other one. Might try to get both.
Try to get both of the Thompson twins.
Obviously, that probably wouldn't happen, but
that
would ruin my life.
I'm just
poverty franchise at that point.
It would ruin my life. Is crazy. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that day to see if Cam Whitmore is available at 5 and if y'all take him.
We have to think who in terms of the mainstream, where in what scenario would he not be available at 5?
I think everybody in the world has Amin Thompson at 4.
Yeah.
Like everybody in the world, including me. I have him.
Yeah.
At 4 right now. Or I have him at 3 on my board, but we're not going to get into who he's above. We'll leave that for another day. But all right, that's all we got for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Let us know what you think of Cam Whitmore. Do you think he will be an all-star? Do you think he's has bust potential? Let us know in the replies below. We appreciate all the interaction and the support. We will have another versus video up in the coming days, so be on the lookout for that as well. Until then, we will talk to you later.